Welcome again to Never Wonderland. I am Elspeth and this is episode 5 of our IVF Journey series. So, we finally reached the episode for IVF or in vitro fertilization. Maybe I should give you an overview first about the whole procedure in this episode before I relate our very own experience. In a nutshell, IVF is a medical procedure or is a type of assisted reproductive technology whereby an egg is fertilized by a sperm outside the body of the female. It may be in a test tube or a petri dish and then inserted back into the uterus after the fertilization. It's the last resort for most couples like us who are trying to conceive, trying to start a family, but having fertility issues or problems. It's not really a complex concept if you are already familiar with how the human reproductive system works. It can be broken down into 5 major steps. First, the stimulation for the growth and development of multiple eggs within the ovaries through various medications and injections. 2, the removal of these eggs when they are mature. They call it egg retrieval. In our case, they called it ovum pickup or OPU because egg cells are also called ovum, plural ova, and sometimes they are called oocytes as well. It's like they are picking up ripe fruits, but instead of fruits, they are picking up mature egg cells. And then third, the fertilization of these eggs, which can be done manually. We're combining an egg and thousands of sperms in a laboratory dish and then allowing the sperms to find their way on their own in fertilizing the egg. Or by intracytoplasmic sperm injection or ICSI, wherein a single sperm is chosen and injected directly into the mature egg. This is what is usually done nowadays, especially for male partners with low sperm count and poor quality percentage. And then fourth is the embryo transfer. Embryo culture and blastocyst stage. It is, they are allowing the fertilized eggs to grow and develop in the laboratory. A blastocyst is the embryo created during the in vitro fertilization that has been grown in the laboratory for 5 to 6 days. And then the fifth and last stage is the embryo transfer, the one that we have done last week. Each of these 5 steps can be performed in a slightly different manner, especially the first step, the stimulation for the growth and development of the eggs. It is based basically on the preferences of the OB/GYN, which is of course based on the actual needs of their patient, on the couple's conditions like their age and specific fertility issues. Age, I guess, is, especially of the female, age of the female is the number one and biggest factor that affects the whole IVF scenario. That is because almost every fertility issue comes with age for both partners. As females, the older we get, the lesser eggs we have left and the lesser our body responds to medications. You see, we are born with all the eggs that we will have our entire lives. That's it. That's all we have. They are right there inside us since birth. The number of our eggs decreases at the onset of menstruation because we release at least 1 egg every period. And then as we age, the quality of the eggs that we have in our reserves also decreases. So the longer we wait to get pregnant, the lesser chance we will have. It is said that after the age of 30, our fertility starts to dwindle. And around 40, which is what I am right now, in just a few weeks, I'm going to be 40, our fertility is already about half the level of what it was before we were 30. Ouch. Right? Although my OB-GYN told me that I am one of the lucky few to still have a lot of egg in my reserve at my age. As I've said, I'm nearing 40. I'm 39 years old and turning 40 this December. And we're lucky that I have produced 11 eggs during the egg retrieval in our IVF journey, and that my uterus is still responding very well in terms of the thickening of its walls. She even joked that I have the ovaries of a teenager. I say, what? Anyway, males on the other hand, they fare just a little better in terms of aging because they don't stop producing sperms even as they age. However, the quality of their sperms deteriorate with age. Add to that other factors such as stress, high level of stress, and unhealthy lifestyle that can also affect not just fertility but also the virility of men. Some are even unable to perform during or under duress. And believe me, there's pressure for them too, whether natural, IUI, or IVF. In natural workup, the male is pressured to perform and deliver during the fertile days, especially on the ovulation day itself. In IUI, he will be required to masturbate into a cup on the day of the procedure. And in IVF, on the day of the egg retrieval. So, it's pressure, you guys. In general, women younger than 35 and men younger than 40 have a better chance at getting pregnant, whether natural or technology-assisted pregnancies like IUI or IVF. We were told that this is why there are some fertility clinics abroad that do not accept couples aged 40 and above because it lowers their success rates. Yikes, right? I wouldn't have a chance. Our doctor advises couples to start fertility workup or at least initial checkup as early as 30s or even earlier than that. So if you are in your 30s or nearing 30 and haven't had any success in conceiving so far, you might want to consider getting checked at least. You know, it's better to know early what your problems are because at least you'll still have time to prepare. More importantly, more time to save up money for whatever procedure you might need. But this is just me talking based on our experience. Honestly, I think if we had started our fertility workup earlier, we might not have needed IVF at all. We could have succeeded with just IUI or maybe even with just natural workup. But past is past, and we're here now in the final stage of IVF. We've done our embryo transfer last week, and now we're in the middle of the waiting game, which reminds me, 3 nights to go before our appointment at the clinic for a beta HCG test or human chorionic gonadotropin. It's a blood test that would determine if I really am pregnant right now. If our embryos that were transferred last week have successfully attached themselves into my uterus and they lived and developed further inside here. We're excited and a little bit scared. Anyway, I will tell you all about our own IVF experience, the little steps that we had to go through to get here now. Bye for now before I start crying, and thank you for watching.